Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am calling you live from, believe it or not, the Turks and Caicos. And, it's funny because I didn't even know where the Turks and Caicos was in relationship to Barbados, where I've been before, and Jamaica, where I've been before, and St. Lucia, where I've been before, and St. Thomas and Antigua and things like that in the Caribbean islands. I really didn't know where, in fact, Turks and Caicos was. It's 1,000 miles away from Barbados, and I thought it was just a bunch of islands together. But anyways, what I wanted to share with you is it's an incredible opportunity for my wife and I to break away, recharge, get ourselves ready for 2024 and all that it's going to offer us in our Collect Direct business, as well as our lives together, our kids, and so on. We've got lots of exciting things on the horizon, and tonight I want to share some of those things with you, because it's time to give you kind of a picture and for the questions you have on how this new $29.98 program is going to work. I hope to answer some of those tonight by my presentation. And ultimately, folks, there's more information coming as we speak, but there are some basics that you need to know. And tonight you're going to get the basics, and the basics are going to be exciting because here's the bottom line. The truth of the matter is, in a business world, and lots of my friends have said to me many times, how could you build a business without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars? How could you build a business without having inventory, in your personal hands that you've purchased and bought or invested in, or borrowed to buy, and truly build an unlimited income? It doesn't seem reasonable. So when somebody says to you, hey, you could start a business for $29.98, you tend to question that. But on the other hand, it lets everybody on an equal playing field have a chance. So tonight I'm going to share with you 6 or 7 basic slides that'll point a picture to you of how Collect Direct has evolved into bringing the past to your future. And when I share these screens with all of you, let me just go here and find this little presentation for all of you. What I want you to understand when I go live here on this presentation and bring up the first slide. So hang on here. Let me just go here and do this quickly. I just want to get there. I'm going to close that off because Jackie's in charge. Bear with me. I'm just looking for the slideshow and the first slide. When I talk about this, and Jackie, just if you could tell me, can you see that Collect Direct logo right now?
Yeah, and I can.
Perfect. When I first got it and started in this adventure, the whole concept of the adventure was to bring the past to the future. And the way to do that truly is coming to fruition before our eyes. Now, as I go through the history of Nancy and I go through this concept that I'm sharing with you tonight that's officially launching, which is, what if you could build a business for $29.98 per month and work from anywhere? What if you could do that? It excites a lot of people. Now, there's questions, and tonight I'm going to answer some of them, of course. But the real mystery of this business is what's behind the curtain. And what's behind the curtain is all of this product that Dave's been amassing for 40 years. But we have to get eyeballs in big numbers to want to look at them and uncover that. And so the ideal scenario, and again, when I look at this model, and this picture was taken just today, believe it or not, around the pool where we were having a beverage, and I just said to Nancy, man, it says, you know what, we're talking to people in the Turks and Caicos. We've never been there before, and we're talking to them about our $29.98 business. And some of them, and by the way, Turks and Caicos is full of a lot of money. Some of them would look at us and say, $29.98, how could you start a business for $29.98? I say, well, you know what, our plan can pay up to $100,000 US per week for those people that really understand the concept of point clicking and sharing. And they said, point clicking and sharing, yeah, I've got this inventory that I have available at the touch of my fingertips, and I can share this world of collectibles. Do you know how big the collectible world is? I said to them. And they said, oh, you mean that thing that's on TV, like Golden TV and so on? And that Netflix series? Yes, yeah, that. Do you know how big it is? Well, I'm hearing it. I'm seeing my friends talk about it all the time. And I tell them, well, gosh, it's expected to be $1 trillion industry in the next 7-8 years. And I'm just getting in on the ground floor of something that's launching around the globe 3 countries currently for $29.98. It was a no-brainer. They wanted to know more. And all I could do was hand them a postcard that had my information on there and then get their digits and started that process. It was so simple, right? In a bathing suit around a pool, right? Having that near our bag that Nancy carries to the water, I'd pull a couple out. Now, why do I say that to you? Because that's what we're doing live. We're showing people that it's possible to build a business for $29.98 per month. So how do you do that? Well, look, every entrepreneur in the world knows there's no straight shot to the top. If there was a straight shot to the top, ultimately you've won the lottery or something. And how many people win a lottery, or how many people win a lottery and then are bankrupt 3, 4, 5, 6 years later because they spend all the money that they won? It happens all the time. There's all kinds of cases of this. And that's because nobody was able to understand what they were supposed to do along the way to get to that point where they had that money. Well, what if the entrepreneurial spirit was live and well, even in Collect Direct? And our owner, Dave Jordan, had a vision some 40 years ago of collecting this mass of collectibles. And back in 1998 said, man, what if I could market in a home-based business industry collectibles? And here we are in 2024 with a company now that has been developed with the up and down of what it took to get here. Because honestly, this is my career right before your eyes. This is what I can tell you that I put down. I mean, I was excited about different things in my past. When I started my first company in I hate to tell you, but I mean, it was like in 1984. 22 years later, I sold it to a company on the New York Stock Exchange. But for the first 8 years, I could not make a profit. 8 years to break even. And after 8 years, I started to get things rolling. And when I got things rolling, I developed Course Correct. It went up, down. I thought there was going well. And then before you know it, I thought I was going bankrupt. And before you know it, things were going so, it was crazy. That's an entrepreneurial spirit. But here's what you have to understand about my journey as an entrepreneur. The risk was incredible. I was borrowing money from banks and a second bank on top of the first bank to be able to buy the inventory. That was obviously a risk. And during that time, I honestly had a couple of relationships fall apart because of my work ethic. And they didn't work because they didn't think that what I was attempting to do would work. But here's the thing. You don't have any risk here. You have an owner that is putting this amass of millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of inventory out there for you to point, click, and share. And saying to you, for $29.98, you can build a business, right? After you become a member for a once a year, $9.98 membership. So that's your first fact that you all need to know. You all have bought a $9.98 membership, most of you, at some point in the last month, 3, 6 months, right? So you're good for another 6 months with your membership. But have you bought $29.98 worth of product in the month of January? Well, that's what we're asking you to do. And the team that gets started here for the next number of years to come is we want you to understand that in order for this to work, we need eyeballs on this product. We need volume to generate so that the staff can learn and earn with all of you and be able to pick and pack as we grow to the masses around the globe. It's so important when you think of a team and a team effort to jump in with both feet and say, we're in, we're here to help. We want to help the infrastructure of Collect Direct. And it took us 6 months to go up and down, up and down, up and down for Dave to finally realize that the nice number of $29.98 is the right number to build a business for the average person. Now, what does that allow you to do is the part of tonight's seminar, right? There is ups and downs. We've had ups and downs, but we're coming into 2024 with a clear path of where we want to go for all of you. And I'm going to share much of that tonight, okay? And tomorrow, some of the corporate staff will watch this video, and they've been taking notes with different people in the last week or two. They're making adjustments. The coders are doing adjustments. And I was on with Dave's really right-hand assistant that works a lot with them, Terry, today, and her and I are going to talk again tomorrow. So this Zoom is really important because you're all part of this future. So when I talk about the entrepreneurial spirit, it brings me back to all of the things that have happened in my business career that I've seen. I remember video stores in every corner suddenly going away because Netflix let you download, right? I remember buying a CD at a store. Now I just go and point on Apple Music or wherever and play whatever song I darn well want. That technology changed and wiped out those companies, right? The ability for it to be easily done with a very little cost of entry was so amazing. But at one point or another, there was people that said it would never work. But guess what? It worked. And if you look at the way it's being done, is because you can point, click, and share using different ways of social media. We all know that. There's a way of getting your message. I mean, if somebody has a very bad thing happen to them and they post it, it pretty much goes viral. If somebody says a bad message about a company in terms of a Google review, it's the one that stands out. It's the good things that happen that very rarely get said. It's the bad things that people tend to concentrate on, right? But that's the world we're in. So if you look at what's happened and you realize that it's the proof is in the pudding, online works. Online works in such a huge way that we've seen billions and billions of dollars being turned around in industries like Amazon, wiping out companies like Sears, not by choice, but just by not allowing that company Sears and others to course correct. That term course correct meant they doubted that Amazon would be successful. They doubted, and sure enough, Amazon was able to, unfortunately, take over a lot of the retail online world, right? So that's where I personally got excited about the collectible industry. Because I thought to myself when I got started in Collect Direct, why? I said, well, I needed to find an industry that people wanted. And so again, go and Google collectibles, go Google it, do your own research and look at the excitement going around in the globe around the collectible industry. You've heard me say this on these Zooms for 6 months, a category creator, something never been done. And then go find something that lets you, get in, as my buddy says, and share or sell them cheap and stack them deep, like where you can get them eyeballs coming because they're not intimidated by the cost of entry. And that's why $29.98, it's such an important part of our platform as of 2024. And this slide basically tells it as it is for all of you to know why we're here. Just alone in the US, there's 200 million people that collect something, right? We're talking hats, cups, whatever, t-shirts, jerseys, hockey cards, Beanie Babies, Barbie dolls, whatever, Lionel trains. And Dave has all these things, right? They're showing up in some of the collections that are being available in our $29.98 category. I mean, I just the other day bought 4 Funko Pops of the Incredible family, the 4 Incredible cartoons, because that was our favorite cartoon that our kids and my wife and I watched when they were little. I want those 4 little things on my desk. I bought them. That was my $29.98 worth of product I bought for the month of January. I was excited to find them on there. So it's not just hockey cards, but folks, Dave is also launching his Collect Direct grading platform inside the $29.98 price point. And they are categorizing the near mint product that they're putting in their sleeves, and they're slabbing them and putting labels. That's coming in this next little while, where you're going to be able to take that card and have the confidence that you bought something for potentially $29.98 that Dave's team graded. Now you choose if you want to send that off and get it graded by PSA or some other company. That's your choice, right? And pay that fee. But Dave's going to give you the ability to do that as he builds the brand of Collect Direct and the grading that they'll do for all of us inside this Get In for $29.98 platform. But the excitement really is what you're seeing there in line 2. The amount of people buying things every month, every day, and looking for these things. Well, as soon as we start going with high price things, people start price shopping, and before you know it, you get people saying, well, I could get it here, I can get it there. Well, that's not our platform in the $29.98 platform. It's let's get the people started to get into the collectible industry. And guess what? Build a business for $29.98. Now, let's go a step further. So agree that the collectible industry is huge. Agreed, the collectible industry is growing before our eyes, and there's platforms launching that are going to drive people absolutely bananas wanting to know how they can get some of these things, okay? And Dave is one of those companies doing that. So let's talk about this. It's like your ticket, right? A $29.98 ticket. Let's talk about this. Build a duplicatable team. So here's step one. You start with a $9.98 membership. Check. I've done that. Once a year, you're going to spend another $9.98 if you choose to continue to participate. Now, make a commitment. Buy your $29.98 product line, whatever that is, right? But here's what you have to understand. Our system is coding $29.98 monthly or the purchase in the shopping cart at 20 qualifying volume, 20 QV. That's the magic, everyone. It's the QV that is the key to our compensation plan. We want you and the folks that you get started to build this business with you to accumulate 20 QV or qualifying volume. Qualifying volume does not pay you a commission, but it lets you rank advance. And this is the key to our compensation plan. It really is no different than what it's ever been. You cannot buy a position in Collect Direct. You've got to rank advance by qualifying volume growing from your customers and from your members and your members' customers and so on and so on. And that's the magic. So step one, you want to get paid what we call a fast start or a retail reward on somebody that buys something inside our $29.98 platform. Well, then you need to spend $29.98. That's step one. Now, you get to participate in both the Fast Start and the Retail Reward program, which means if they buy something, you're going to get a chance to earn that retail reward, whatever it happens to be. Is it $5 or could it be higher? I'll share that part of it in a little bit. But think about that. $29.98 opens up the first part of our compensation plan, which is the retail reward and the fast start. That's it. That's what it does. Now, step two, I would like to build a team. I want to build a team of people that are going to point, click, and share and find other $29.98 business builders. Well, I need to have one on my left team and one on my right team that I've encouraged, either a customer or a member for $29.98, which generates, again, 20 QV. Now, currently, the shopping cart will show you BV. And again, this is changing every day. There's some changes that happen today because this is a massive undertaking as we've tweaked this program. But I can assure you that if you've spent at least $30, that counts as 20 qualifying volume. And that is your requirement so that the volume in your team doesn't flush, right? Your requirement is just nothing more than to engage in our shopping experience and buy $29.98 at least worth of product. That's it. You want to build a team and open up the compensation plan for team building, which is what we call dual team structures and so on. Then you need to have one on your left and one on your right. That's it. That's how our comp plan unlocks. $129.98 on your left and $129.98 on your right. Now, does that pay you $100,000 US per week? Of course not. The volume does. Where's the volume going to come from? By duplication. Build a duplicatable team of folks that are going to want to find those people that want to build a $29.98 business. Now, there's a real important part of this that I'm going to share right now. Not only do you have a chance to participate in the compensation plan, both step one saying, or step two saying, hey, you can earn a fast start and a retail reward, or step two saying you can earn dual team commissions, matching checks, unilevel pay, and so on. But you now have a chance for a first class ticket, so to speak, right? And this is based on the train theme that you saw that our good friend Robert helped put together for me earlier on when I posted that. I mean, how do you attain a first class ticket and build a replicatable team and share Collect Direct's Vault website? Folks, think about this. Collect Direct has products, of course, higher than $29.98, but that's not a requirement for anybody. We need people to understand we're building this business around $29.98. This slide is pretty simple, folks. In order for you to have the ability to share in the Collect Direct Vault website, which is connected to the Collect Direct Unilevel plan, you need to have at least put a left and a right person in there, and you yourself have put in a $29.98 purchase. That's it on a monthly basis. What do you get to do from there? Well, the details of this are as simple as this. Imagine that you have the ability to get, say, approximately, I'm going to say 5%. Say it was $1 million item. I'm going to use that as a crazy thought. You don't know who you know, and you don't know who the people you know. But you bring in a $29.98 member who has a friend that has a desire to buy a 1952 top set that just sold on Golden Auctions for $250,000. I think that was the number. Dave sold that through the Golden Auction by letting them do it. But here's the thing. If you would have sold that, which is part of this plan that we're going down the path of, then 5%, if that's the number, every item will be different as the prices go up based on cost. But think about that. 5% of 250,000, there's 12, what's that? $12,500, right? Well, half of that you'd get paid as a commission just for sharing that to somebody. And you don't know who people know. And the other half gets spread out amongst 7 people in the team in our unilevel plan. That's the ticket that opens up for all of you. But here's the next part of it. You don't get business volume, but you get qualifying volume. So rank advancement is how you go up the ladder of Collect Direct. And you go up the ladder of Collect Direct by qualifying volume. So where does the qualifying volume come from? It comes from the $29.98 purchasers, and eventually for those people that are over there sharing the Collect Direct vault and allowing those people to buy what they want. If they buy something, yes, you're going to get paid, and the qualifying volume will count to help rank advance you. That's our platform. That's as simple as it is. There's no complication here. There's no point trying to rewrite the whole thing we've worked on for 6 months. The compensation plan is pretty straightforward. If you want to advance, you need qualifying volume on the left and qualifying volume on the right, and you need to participate by adding your own personal qualifying volume. Good example of that would be Diamond. And I'll just say it out loud. It would be somebody that said, hey, I want to get 15,000 of qualifying volume on my left and 15,000 of qualifying volume on my right. And that's coming from my Collect Direct $29.98 members and their customers, and from the members that are sharing the Collect Direct vault, and somebody's buying something, that qualifying volume is going to help advance me. And it's going to allow me to say, hey, I have the right amount. And that's the comp plan. That's as simple as it is. So we're not complicating anything. We're trying to make it simple for all of you to understand. It's based around $29.98. It's this simple: team building bonuses, team coaching rewards, and repeat member and customer overrides. You see, as a member or a customer buys anything, there's a unilevel pay that's played every time. And that 7 levels goes to somebody. It could be 30 cents, 50 cents, $1, doesn't matter. If it's a retail larger item, it'll be the bigger amount of commission. That's our platform. That's what we've been working on. And it's as simple as that. So as I go back through this, let me just cover the basics one more time. Start with a $9.98 membership. That's our roadmap we're working on. Then buy a $29.98 order. Perfect. Now, let me just say one little thing. If you choose to be a trade show person, a home-based home show person, or I see now all of these business shows going on across the United States, and you want to attend one of those and offer up a banner, which we're making now, you'll be able to see eventually, and available that says, hey, start a business for $29.98. How simple is that? And somebody comes up to you and says, well, how do I do that? And you're able to have a table full of all of these items from $2.98 up to $29.98. And they're looking at them saying, well, that's pretty cool. And you sell a few of them, you hand a few of them for gifts, and people join your team for $29.98. Well, where did you get all that product? Well, as a member, once you get started, you can after choose to buy the other packages that are still there, the dugout, the bullpen, and so on. But that's not what our lead is. Our lead is to show people that they can build their business with $29.98. That's the Collect Direct train that's leaving the track, and you've got a chance to have a first-class ticket if you've got one $29.98 person on the left and the right, and before you know it, you actually started to accumulate qualified volume as our next phase opens up, which is the Collect Direct Vault, and those products are available for you to share and make your commission retail-wise off of as we go forward. So that's the plan, everybody. And I just want to stop this share now and just say to all of you, this adventure is a moving target. Like I said, it took me 8 years to break even in my company that I ended up selling for millions of dollars. when I look at Dave's effort and what he's building here in Collect Direct, it fascinates me. It fascinates me, first and foremost, that he's first said, guys, ladies, gentlemen, my friends, I'm letting you have a chance to participate for $29.98 in all this collection, and let's open the vault to the world. That's the message that you're hearing tonight. Many of you weren't sure that you're going to still be able to participate in sharing some of those other tickets. But guess what? That's not your focus. Your focus is, yes, I want to buy a $29.98 selection every month. Then watch what we do in the coming weeks and ahead as we open up phase 2, which is the actual vault of products. So don't miss your chance to not let your volume flush. And there has been many suggestions, folks, and we are starting an advisory board as of the next week that has some key people being invited that are going to be constantly thinking about the best for you and me as I'm an independent rep and all of the field. But we can't have everybody on there, but it's going to be a very small group. And that group has already sent some suggestions in. And some of those suggestions are the things that are there to have a perk, an advantage, a foundational reward for being here from the beginning. And Dave is looking at that with his advisors, and watch for news to come out on that. I just don't know it. You'll have to wait for Dave to say anything about that. But he is listening to all your suggestions. But first and foremost, I just want to thank all of you for joining me tonight from Turks and Caicos. And I'm hoping that I answered some of your questions. Jackie, did this come across as pretty informative on a simple basis of how this program is going to work?
Actually, John, to be honest, it's very plain and simple. And being an Australian, we travel miles to get anywhere. And I feel as though that we are on this jet plane, and it's called Collect Direct. Now, there are many people that decide to buy a ticket on the plane, and they can sit in the back of the plane and they get the same experience. They get to go to where they want to go to. It may just not be exactly the same, or you can pay a little bit more and you can have a first class ticket. So I think the beautiful thing about Collect Direct and what you've explained here and the changes that are coming, first of all, thank you so much for everybody that has been on this ride with us, on this plane ride so far. We are now just stoking it up a little bit higher, I believe, to where we're going to head to the moon. The moon is the object, because we're getting ready. And there have been some changes, and I think what you've explained, to be honest, has been very, very clear, very simple. Get in where you fit in, and then just start point, click, and sharing, because there really is something in there for everybody. One thing I did want to say, and then I will be quiet, is that $29.98 a month is literally, when you think about it, for a year, are 12 gifts that you can be buying that you can then put into your stockings and then gift them to somebody for Christmas. It's that simple, and you're still earning, but you're just buying a gift once a month, putting it aside for Christmas or for birthdays, and you're building your business. It's that easy. So I want to thank you so much.
That's a great example. That's awesome. I'll just take a couple more questions. Thank you, Jackie. Mary, I see your hand up there. Go right ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, so just to clarify, we're going to buy the $29.98, which I just said today. Does it have to be a certain PV? Because somebody else was saying, does it need to be 10 or 20 PV, just $29.98?
If it's $29.98, it will count as 20 QV. That number is going to show up. It's just not showing up yet. The BV is
okay, yeah, because it does.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because it doesn't show up there.
Yeah, it does.
Got it.
But it will. So trust us that we'll guarantee you that $30 worth of spend is 20 QV.
Awesome. That answers my question. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you, my friend. Okay, anybody else quickly on a Zoom? And I'm going to get out to the reggae party. Anybody else for a quick question?
Hi, you've got Mary Brett, you've got Robert Wicker.
Go ahead, Robert. I see your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks. That was a great explanation tonight. And man, I'm telling you, I am so excited. It's so simple now that we're going to kill this.
We will, Robert. And you know what? Is it perfect yet? No, but it sure is getting there day by day. And Dave's team is working hard on this. It's just a lot of changes. And Robert, thanks for helping with these slides today. It really made things a little bit easy to point it out. Let's go right to Jeff. Jeff, go ahead. I see your hand up.
Yeah, Dave, is the qualifying volume to rake advance still the same on the left and right, 1,500 and 15,000?
Yeah. You're talking about if you're advancing, say for a superstar, it's 400 on the left and 400 on the right, and that's Q.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
Okay,
the same.
thank you.
Nothing's changing on that. We are adding a new position though between superstar and diamond called middleweight, but that's just in between to help everybody get to a level that's more attainable than just saying, hey, I want to go from a superstar to the diamond. That's it. We are adding that.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Anybody else?
Dan Gibbons.
Go ahead, Dan. No? Okay, can't unmute himself. Dan, did you want to unmute yourself? Nope. Okay.
There we go.
There you go. Go ahead, Dan.
Yep. I came in this month at the 298 package.
In
Do
January?
I still got a, yeah,
Yeah, then you're qualified.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to buy the 29 this
No,
month. Okay.
and just so you know, and thanks for mentioning that. I mean, that's not the requirement anymore. What we're saying to people is, and this is coming. There is a roadmap, Dan, coming for people to build a business maybe quicker. But to start with, it's $29.98 and get one on the left and one on the right. That's our business model. But there is a plan to encourage people, as you did, to buy the package of the 16 of the other items and the 10 of the other item. That's so important to know that that's there if you want to build trade show business and go to markets and so on, right? And you got it. It's good stuff, right? It's awesome. Congratulations. Yep. Perfect. And there will be hats and things available. Okay, who else? Anybody else there got something they want to come off? I know Blair, you were really excited about how low the price of entry is now for people to duplicate here at $29.98. Morton, you want to make a comment? Go right ahead. My buddy Brett, over in Sioux, and you might even be in Winnipeg right now, Brett. Anybody else? I mean, we got another 5 or so minutes.
John?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Is there any chance that some of us that bought the 200 and some odd dollar ended up being over $300? Any chance we could be grandfathered in at some level here? Let that be worth 2 or 3 months of the $30.
Well, listen, that's not for, look, I'm not an owner here. I'm just an independent rep like you. But what I will say is that the founding people that are here have some form of grace period for something to do with whatever Dave decides. But I can't say that, John. It's not fair for me to even offer up anything. I would just say that, there are such good products that you can buy at $29.98 to open up and start the duplication. That's all I can tell you. The duplication of our system is to get people buying items on a monthly basis. Even as Jackie said, put Christmas stocking presents away now once a month. Whatever that means, John. But I can't answer that question because it's not my company, right? I'll let Dave defer to that maybe over the next couple of weeks.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Don Jeannie Reynolds has been waiting, so
Go right
I
ahead.
can't figure out how to put the little hand up, so I'm just.
That's
putting mine
okay.
up.
That's okay. Your hand up is good
No,
too.
I just want to say I just appreciate this new program so much because it opens up so many people that I've already spoken to, that just they need to learn how to make a living, and so this is something, even if they have to borrow $10, they can do that. I'll loan it to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it just opens up how we can just help so many to be able to open up a career for themselves at such a little amount. I mean, what a generous person that Dave Jordan is. I just can't believe I've been involved with a lot of different companies. I've never seen anything like this. But anyway, I'm just appreciating everything as I keep learning these things. It's just, I look forward to the future.
Yeah, I appreciate your comments here. And ultimately, the most important thing is I can tell you that there's been good feedback by people that want this to work. Dale Culvert's a good example. I mean, he's given us some great feedback and he wants this to work. So, I mean, all of these things that I can say have come from the advice that's been coming from the field. And there's more advice coming. But right now, the platform looks pretty simple. $29.98, one on the left, one on the right. And then that lets you have the chance to share the Collect Direct Vault and earn the potential retail reward and then 7 levels of Unilevel. That's all simple. That's all we're doing. But lead with the $29.98. Anybody else?
So Don, there's one more. Greg's got his hand up if you can unmute.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, hi. The $30 is great. That's not a problem. But my question is, you said flush a couple times. What happens? Like, say you get $30, but say people in your downline they don't. What happens to them?
Well, no, what we're talking about is the flushing of the carryover volume. So as long as you're maintaining your $30 order, $29.98, the volume that's building up from the team that's building below you doesn't flush. It just keeps accumulating. It's called carryover volume. Now, if somebody chooses not to order, they won't accumulate volume. And if they choose not to order in 2 months, that's the plan, that position could purge. And Dave's working on how that's going to work in terms of purging people out of the plan eventually that choose not to buy anything.
Okay, so if you don't buy some, so say if you're downline, whatever, they don't buy anything for a couple months, all of a sudden they're not your downline anymore. And even if
Could be,
you
it
say it's
could
10,
be. I mean, here's the
$10
thing,
for a year membership, and you lose.
That's right. They still have, and that's where we're making sure that we're crossing the T's and dotting the I's. $9.98 gave you a year membership. You're right. The volume can flush. Maybe you have to sit there and wait for that year until you can purge out. All of these things legally are all being done right now. So we're not doing anything that's not going to be right. Trust me.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Thank you.
Is that fair?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, good. Barry, I see your hand up. Go right ahead.
Hey, Don, there's a few items on the site that are $14.98. And some of those I would like to buy 2 of, which
Yes.
makes me at $14.99. Could you change those to $14.99?
Yeah. Okay. So it's funny you said that because there's somebody in Dave's team that drives some matters when we don't have it exactly at $29.98. But to your point, it's got to be close. If it's, as long as it's close to that, it's going to count as the 20 QV. So you're right.
Okay.
14.98 times 2, for all intents and purposes, is the $29.98 number. It's close enough. That's the point. Yes.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, we got time for one more. I think my reggae music is tying down. I probably got time for 2 more. Go ahead.
I was wondering if somebody that you got as a customer buys $29.98, do you have to buy the $29.98 too?
Okay, good question. You have to buy the $29.98 monthly. Yes. If you have a customer that buys a $29.98, that's the one on your right, that counts. If they buy another month or another item down the road, it counts for the person on the right. Repeat customers count for you, but you personally have to be a purchaser of something on a monthly basis.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Don, I have one question.
Yes.
Are these going to be an automatic auto ship for the $29.98, or we're able to change our orders every month?
Yes. So they're working on that automatic auto ship concept right now, and there's some ideas that have been ramped, and that's why this is taking so much time. And I don't want to go into details about it because it's not fair for me to do that. But yes, there will be a loyalty option if you choose to want to do that. That is being worked on. I don't know the exact details of how it's going to be done because it's got to be done properly so that you can get maybe what you want. You can pre-pick it ahead of time. That's all being worked on with the coders as we speak. So
go enjoy a rum punch. Go enjoy a rum punch. Come to put it on my tab.
No, that's okay, but I'm enjoying this. Shane, go ahead. I see Nancy came back.
Yeah, Don, just had one question for you.
Yeah.
Purchased 2 cards on January the 3rd, and it's showing a PV of total for 15 of both those cards. Does that mean I have to purchase one more thing to get over the?
No.
The hump?
You're talking. Remember, you're seeing BV, not or personal BV or PV. Honestly, it's not the same. QV is the bigger number that's not showing up in our cart yet, but that's going to change. So I will assure you that if you've bought 2 items that added up to around the $30 mark, you've got enough QV. You've done your 20 QV.
Yeah, both those cards came up to about $65.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
You've got plenty. You've got 20 QV, guaranteed. It's just not showing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Dale, anybody? You want to come off mute and just say a quick hello, or anybody else before we sign off? Nancy, just say a quick hello. I know you can. They may see her or not, but go right ahead.
Hey, everybody.
She was just.
I was just watching the reggae show.
She was enjoying it, and so we've been having fun. Anybody else? Last minute. No? Okay. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. I'll post a recording. Again, this is a work in progress. As I said, it took me 8 years to break even in my first adventure that I ended up selling down the road, 22 years from the beginning to the end. So I look at this as 6 months in, and we're just a baby just getting started, and we're course correcting and we're making it right. Let's lead with the $29.98, one on the left, one on the right. And when the vault, Collect Direct Vault opens, you all get to share that, do your thing with that. If you choose or you have customers to buy out of there, yes, you will get paid. That's what our plan is all about, folks. Thanks for joining me. The recording is going off now.